So apparently, Damian Lillard went down. I think they said it's a blood clot. I forget the official name of his injury, but he's out indefinitely. Sorry, Thompson went through the same thing. So I was telling y'all we was like a game or two in the loss column behind the Milwaukee Bucks, and now we played them two games. I think maybe back to back or in a certain stretch. We played them down the stretch of the end of the regular season. I know we got Memphis, and I don't think we play Indiana again. So there's an opportunity where a lot of people admirations the last few years is like, well, maybe the Pistons can reach the play-in. They can reach the play-in. We've seen Charlotte reach the play-in. But there may be some, admirations that the 6th spot, maybe they can move up to 5 or 4, depending on how Indiana do it. Indiana got off to a slow start this year. And that's what happened when you become, they made it to the play-in tournament finals last year. And they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. I don't have anything against Indiana. I like the rivalry that's brewing against the Pistons. I've been a big Tyrese Halliburton fan. I said we should have took him over Killian Hayes. To me, that was apparent. That was common sense. But everything happens for a reason. Aaron Neesmith started the ball over there. Can't give up on the guy after a couple of years. Obi Toppin's balling over there. Can't give up on the guy after a couple of years. Miles Turner, a lot of Piston fans wanted him. Was rumors about him, trade rumors last year. So, yeah. That's a 4 or 5 matchup between Detroit and Indiana. If we creep up to the 4th spot or they creep down, they stay at the 4th. I don't think anybody catching the top 3 teams. The Knicks are within range too. When coach played them so many minutes, and now Brunson got this ankle injury and guys starting to break down. When they re-signed Thibodeau as a head coach, I knew they wasn't winning the championship. He just doesn't. He's an old man that's stuck in his ways. He's never going to make the adjustment. But for the most part, the Pistons can creep up to 5. They can creep up to 4. They still got Giannis. But Milwaukee, it's over with. If they don't make a run this year, it's over with. You'll see Giannis eventually get moved. Damian is going to do his Gary Payton to go try to join the championship caliber team. That's what you're going to start to see. Milwaukee, Bobby Portis got suspended 30-something games, 25 games. Brook Lopez almost 50. So, in reality, Milwaukee is one of those teams that's just going to start to descend through the bottom, and the Pistons can catch them this year. It's a team that gave us hell. Their length gave us hell. And it was good for a long time, but we knew that eventually Milwaukee would come back down to earth. They were one of the teams that was older, regardless Drew Holiday or Damian, they was an older team. And we knew that the main guy like Luel Sender, aka Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Giannis was gonna move on. We knew it. We knew he was gonna move on. So wherever that may be, I don't know. Maybe that be in LA with Luka. Who knows? Who knows? Who actually knows? So, but ultimately, yeah, my bad, I had a call. But yeah, you get to that point where, like starting to clear up, like Milwaukee's going to come down. We knew it. The Cavaliers, they put a really good team together for a while. Indiana's put a really good team together. But the thing about Indiana and Cleveland, are they going to spend the money to keep those teams together? Boston is going to be there for a long time. They're the team to beat. Orlando is like us. They're on the creeping on the come up. So, yeah, it's some good teams. There's some teams with some talent that's probably going to disband pretty soon. That should wait and add some veterans. Chicago, Charlotte. So, in the West is more older. Even though you got OKC and Houston doing their thing, and San Antonio coming up, and New Orleans is what it is. I think they're going to make some trades this offseason. West is older. Denver is probably at their climax right now. LA is over the hill. Both LA teams over the hill. Phoenix over the hill. So, Minnesota, they starting to figure it out. So there's some young teams out But it just seems like the East is more ready for a turnover. The East is already turned over. The West is kind of in that transition. You know, a lot of them old guys out West, you know, and, you know, Memphis kind of seemed like Ja being injured. Memphis is going to move on from Ja Morant. So, most likely he's going to go to the East somewhere. So, it should be fun. But the Pistons are in prime position to move up. To move up that scale. And possibly get home court advantage in the first round. That could happen. So, they're playing you know, a great brand of back. They've been playing great all year. It's just to the point where turnovers killed them in that third and fourth quarter. That kind of was the whole thing with Monty. They would be in the games to win, and then that third or fourth quarter, something would happen in the third or fourth with turnovers in the game, but looked like they got blew out or it wasn't competitive. You know, and that's why they got Schroeder. But the biggest turnaround this year, it wasn't that Cade is playing better. I think Cade is healthy, and they are healthy. The big, and other than Ivy, the biggest turnaround was Jalen Duren. He was the biggest guy part of this turnaround. He was the guy. You know, I remember that Houston game I went to earlier this year, and no, it was Boston. They were getting blew out by Boston. I mean, I swear Tatum had 25 in the first quarter. And all of a sudden, Duren started touching the ball offensively, and they came all the way back and almost beat Boston that game. It was because of him. He's the most impactful player in a league where they went from the big guy was the most important to the wings and guards being the most important. And that's why. How do you separate yourself in the NBA? I always say this, you beat the trend. If the trend is to shoot a lot of threes, you beat the trend. You go inside out. And now with Jalen Duren, they're dominating the inside. And that's not just shooting the ball offensive, that's defensive. He's setting the tone. He's taking pride. And now for him, it's hit his free throws, work in his post game, get a 10 to 15 foot jump shot. You might have a Kobe and Shaq all over again. Penny and Shaq. You know what I'm saying? All over again. You might have that. You know, he had that type of talent. Only 23, so, I mean, he's playing very, very well. Sometimes it takes, you know, you got to remember, these kids ain't been up 1 year in college. But the Pistons are marching for the 5th seed, so, and in the range of the 4th, and, you know, it's long shot in range of the 3rd. So, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, check out the Detroit Pistons Talk playlist, hit the link tree, find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Everything's inside the link tree. It's the first link in the description where it says find me everywhere.